Hello, so today I've got another anxiety technique for you all to do. So today it's all about mindfulness but on a tactile anchor point. And I recently read this and I just wanted to share it with you guys because I thought it'd be quite useful for people who are visually impaired as well, because you don't really necessarily have to focus on something visual, you have to focus on something tactile instead. And it brought my attention to it for the people who are visually impaired like myself, who are doing these mindfulness exercises, because most of the points that you have to do are like looking at something or whatever, and it takes that sort of it, because of the vision impairment, it's difficult to do like the 5 4 3 2 1 method. One of them is seeing. So basically it's all about tactile and what you feel. So basically what you do is you gather something meaningful in your hand that doesn't mean something negative in like your past or something. This could be like a piece of jewelry, or it could be a purse, a wallet, anything really that you can hold in one or two hands. But today I've got a shell, because I'll tell you this like in a short while on why I picked a shell. But you can pick practically anything, just as long as you can feel it in one or two hands. It's got some sort of texture, whether it's soft, rough or whatever, and you can just hold it in your hand and like picture something at the same time in your head. But I'll explain it a bit more. So this is directed to a safe place. And it doesn't necessarily have to be visual either. It can even be auditory or whatever. In my safe place is, you guessed it, the beach. So I've got a shell to represent the beach. And I can sort of picture touching the shell at the same time, thinking of the beach and the waves and the sounds and stuff like that. So first of all, when you have whatever object in your hand, your safe place doesn't even have to be a beach. It can be like the countryside or whatever you feel safe in that moment. That doesn't give off any negative connotations either. And then you can sort of just think of your safe place, just picture it and be mindful over it. Feel whatever object is in your hand and ask yourself first whether it feels soft or rough or what texture it is. And then notice the weight of the object. So my object is light, but you can see if it's heavy or light, or how heavy does it feel when you're holding it in one or two hands. So the shell feels soft and rough. It's a combination, so it can be a combination of them both too as well. I forgot to add that. And then what you can do is notice the temperature, and notice when you manipulate it in your hands, and to see if it's getting even more warmer when you hold it, and how warm does it get as well. So has it turned from like really cold to really hot, or just like cold to lukewarm or whatever. Just look there, notice the temperature on it, and then notice it against your skin. And then ask yourself, out of curiosity, once your mind wanders, ask yourself where it's wandered to. And then once you feel like you're more calm and mindful, you can slowly bring yourself out of the exercise without judgment, and notice your physical surroundings within the present moment. This can be like touching something like a table next to you, or feeling the weight on your like chair and stuff like that, and feeling the ground on the feet, and do some like grounding techniques to sort of bring your unconscious mind knowing that you're back in the room and stuff like that. But please be aware you don't have to have the same object every time as well. So I've just stuck with the shell because I've just kept the beach as the same safe place. But for somebody else, they might find like, oh, the countryside works for them one day, like holding a stone, for example. But then the next day, they're holding a shell for the beach. It's whatever works for you in the moment as well. You can keep on swapping as well. You can just go back to whatever object feels most comfortable and just trial and error it, I guess, as well. So I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments as well. And I hope you liked this mindfulness exercise. And thank you all for listening. And I'll see you all later. Bye.